Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the refugetemplenabi back again. Alright, new video. Alright, same old story. Brothers, I want y'all to be careful and pay attention to this. Brothers, Afro brothers, be careful of who you allow to support you. We have literal wolves in our midst. I'm sure that some of y'all, many of y'all are aware of what's going on in Seattle. I'm sure that some of y'all, many of y'all, are aware of what's going on every time an Afro man dies at the hands of anyone unrighteously. I am sure many of y'all are aware that everybody in this country is profiting off of the death of Afro men. But there are no solutions that the Afro men can take up, because what usually happens is people like Al Sharpton comes in and takes what happens to Afro men and create programs for the single black mothers who are primarily the cause of a lot of the deaths involving Afro men. You know that black on black crime. You know that abortion. Oh yeah, more than everything else combined, more Afro boys died at the hands of the BAW through abortion. But we as Afro men are not allowed to talk about that. You know why? Because the same people on YouTube that ban us from having free speech to discuss our issues are the same people that's now marching around in Chaz Republic. Alright? And I want y'all to take a look at this picture. This is the Chaz Republic. This is what happened as a result of an Afro man usually dying unrighteously at the hands of a few corrupt and crooked police officers. Now, I came up with a solution, but nobody's going to take it. The police unions aren't going to take it because they don't want to police themselves. But my solution was this: their pension funds. Get rid of pensions for anybody that is found guilty of murdering anyone in the line of duty of a police officer. All right? And for those that are owed money, for those peoples, those families, with which whom the police officers had left behind, without the father figure, even without the mother or whatever. But in most cases, it's going to be the Afro men dying unjustly. We're not talking about in a hail of bullets because they committed a crime. We're talking about unjustly pulled out of a car and choked, like Freddie Gray. Choked on the street, choked out. All right? That all those things, all those monies don't come from the city. No, it comes out of the police pension fund. When you take the money out of the police pension fund to cover the loss to somebody's family, I bet you the police will police themselves. I bet you will be able to trust the police wholeheartedly. But as we've seen in so many cases, the police force is rife with corruption because they have been given a pass to do corruption all the way to the top, especially in LA and in cities like that. The more democratic the police force, as far as left, the more leftist the police force, the more corrupt they seem to be. All right? So let me greet everybody before we get into this picture here you're watching, you're seeing. Talofa lava soifua, Kavorten hardu gudag, Ola oi to the bang, vossas los bonjour mes amis. Keda bawani konnichiwa. Ni hao ni ama. Sani bonani. Jumbo habaragani. Assalamu alaikum and shalom. Alright. Oh, kamusta ka? Kamusta po kayo? Alright. Now, before we really get into this, let me, as they say, pay some bills. Well, I ain't paying nothing. But for those few that can't, brothers, when we talk about this, can many more of us donate to the cause? All right. We just got a few brothers and a sister that hold this channel down. We would like a little more help. All right. This channel helps the community. So y'all do what y'all want. I'm just asking. All right. But what we can do is share and thumbs up the video. All right. It is clear that YouTube will never reinstate monetization to my channel. And let me know something else. If you see any commercials, because they have not monetized my channel. So you should not see a single damn commercial that YouTube puts on any of my videos. Because they're not monetizing my channel, which means that I'm not making any money to help me buy the soccer balls and equipment that I send to children and buy the tennis shoes with from YouTube. All right. So if I'm not making any, then they shouldn't make any. All right. So y'all let me know if y'all see any, because that's another beef. All right. So let's get back at this. All right. I want y'all to pay attention to this.
What the mainstream media was afraid to tell you about the news this week. This week, while the mainstream media was obsessing about Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's transgender tweets, here are the things that happened that really matter. A new poll reveals 72% of Americans have a favorable view of police. Just 19% have unfavorable views. And 51% of black voters have a favorable view of police.
Now, when we look at this proportion, she should be concerned about what black voters think, as they call us, black. We need to stop letting them call us black. They're going to have to come up with something else. All right? But the Afro voters, the indigenous aboriginal, right? They have a 51% positive view. That 49% should be a striking problem. That is a serious problem. And while most do have a favorable view of the police, I happen to be one of those, I'm not going to be ignorant and say that 49% have an unfavorable view of the police. Anything over the 20%, 19% of people that really get in trouble with the police, and only less than 1% of the population of Afro people are in prisons, but let's say that 49% is way too damn high. Anything over 10% is too damn high. And while I have a favorable view of the police, overall, I know that there are so many crooked police that my favorable view, based on my experiences, will not sway me to think that the police should be viewed favorably. So let me tell you what that means. That means even though I've not had a problem with the police in my life, even though the police officers have been more of a help to me personally in my life, I am not going to base my opinion of the police solely on my experiences. See, I don't do what the black woman do. When you point out y'all killing us, well, I know one black woman that ain't, so that means we all aren't. No, but most of you are. In some way, shape, form, or fashion. Either you are complicit or implicit. Either way, you support the killing of us Afro men, in that you do it the most through abortion. And since most black women agree with that, then they agree with murder of Afro babies, primarily males, to the tune of 60%. All right? See, I don't do that. My experiences is the anomaly. All right? When it's 49%, no, there is a serious problem with the police. But in the same token, she's right. The left don't report on this. Let's continue.
Who wants to tell the white liberal rioters that the majority of black people view police favorably?
When she say white liberal rioters, they are finally telling the truth. Look at who's rioting, y'all. Look at who the main rioters were. They weren't us. They weren't Afro people. Like I keep telling you, be careful of who you let support you. Because what they're trying to do is hijack what happens to you for their own goals. And their own goals is to bring corruption and depravity to such a degree that it is unfathomable. This has YouTube, the main culprit in this, have been silencing the voices of Afro men since 2017. Since Susan Wojcicki became in charge. Oh, let's not get it twisted. If you were to ask me, I would tell you that based on my experiences and the experiences of many other Afro men that try to tell the truth about our community and what's happening so that we could come up with a solution, YouTube is the main thorn in our side. Facebook following close behind, and Twitter, same problem. But you say these are liberal white people. That's exactly what I'm saying. Now let's see what liberal white people are doing.
Well, not the mainstream media, that's for sure. They did not report on this poll at all. A mob of Antifa thugs seized 6 blocks of downtown Seattle and declared it to be a cop-free zone.
Again, look at the picture. You don't see no Afro men in that picture. I keep telling you, they'll take what happens to us and, like scavengers, use what happened to us for their own benefit. Saying that, well, they're a minority because they engage in activities inside their bedroom. But no, that's white privilege. They were able to move laws to get a so-called black president to put into the military that the military had to pay for transition operations, which are dangerous and costly. And by costly, I mean that the Army will forever have to pay the medical cost of white privilege.
The anarchist thugs renamed the area the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, or CHAZ for short, and erected barriers and adorned them with signs that read, "You are now leaving the USA and the People's Republic of Capitol Hill." Like all hostage takers, this
Pay attention to the picture. Look at what you see there.
lawless group of radical leftists have their demands. The anarchists are
All right, let's listen to these demands, y'all.
demanding the total abolition of the city's police force, the abolition of prisons, mandatory re-education for teachers.
Okay, re-education for teachers, we could kind of agree on that. All right. And They can get rid of the prisoners so long as the prisoners can live in their group only. All right? But outside of that, outside of their little space, all the people who want law enforcement and a place to put people that do heinous crimes can live their way. You live your way, we'll live our way. Okay, I can agree with that. Release the prisoners and have them live with them and them only. Okay, I agree with that. All right. I do believe that prison reform should happen. Arrest reform should happen. A lot of stuff that people get arrested for, they shouldn't be arrested for it. And a lot of things that people say are a crime shouldn't be a crime. But for the hardened criminals they want released, they can live right with them. Okay, I'm for that. All right, let's see what else they want.
Members of the media and racial segregation in the city's hospitals.
Say what? Wait a minute. Let's make sure we heard that right.
And racial segregation in the city's hospitals.
One more again. Okay, my ears is tripping now.
And racial segregation in the city's hospitals. And racial segregation in the city's hospitals.
Hold on, wait a minute.
And racial segregation in the city's hospitals.
Oh yeah, that's what they said. Racial segregation in the hospitals. I told you these Caucasians always find a way to profit off of our demise as Afro men. On the backs of the civil rights movement, where we wanted to be considered human, the LG Rainbow crew decided to co-opt what happened to us over the 400 years so that they can have privilege, not rights, privilege to have all these benefits in the military and everything. They got the government, these Caucasian people got the government to pay for anything they want to do while still at the same time dealing with the Afro man as less than human. And the main people that decided to deal with the Afro man as less than human are these liberal leftists that are down for all of their privilege. They want the privilege of being paid to have relations with whomever they want to have relations with, but still persecute Afro men. They want to be in the military under any condition and not have to follow military rules, because for them it's just a job and they get to be in charge of people. And then they get to parlay that into power, political power. While at the same time they still persecute Afro men. They get to do all of this and still persecute Afro men. But in their demands, they're telling you what they really think of Afro men and community as a whole.
And racial segregation in the city's hospitals.
All right. So this is something I want y'all to understand. That all these signs you see were put here by our adversary on the backs of Afro men. They're not the only ones that we have to worry about. They're not the only ones that benefit off of the backs of Afro men. They got their partners in crime. They even have apps where these women are going after married Caucasian men. All right? The only thing they want to give us is, well, you see it on the right, left, is the booty. They don't want to give it to us. They just want to show it to us and show us what they're going to take into other communities and show us what they're going to have around each other. The modern day Afro woman, black woman, not Afro women, but the black women, they don't want no marriage. They don't want no man. They just want the money. They want our money so that they could live their best lives into their 40. Then when they're 40, then they want us after they've been run through by everybody. Oh, and all tatted up in all kind of relationships with other women. They only want us after they're tired of that, or they see we have some benefit and can take care of them. All right? Or maybe they want to try to have a child to hem a dude up at 40. No, we don't deserve this as brothers, so we shouldn't have it. We shouldn't deal with it. Remember, it's all a show. It's all a show. All right? These are Negropeans that care nothing of community or anything else. Again, profiting off of the backs of Afro men. This is all that is. All right? They are the same as the rest of these groups. We are betrayed by so many, and they promote many who don't give a damn about an Afro man. All that woman care about is her position and the Caucasians. All right, y'all, this is a no depolicing zone. Y'all better watch yourselves, because this is becoming a problem. With that said, I'm out.